sure. I didn't check the chat. It's hard for me to keep up with all the chats because when I wake up, like the group's busy, which is good, you know. So it is one of those things where like it's hard for me to get through every message. But I was hoping some people caught it.
I made
You know?
a big point this morning about using high leverage and everything. I don't know whether you saw it in the group, but for the guys that read it found it beneficial. But yeah, I made a big thing about it. It was quite far up. I thought it was quite useful actually.
Yeah, that London session looked like it was moving too, man. Friggin' ran that range like twice overnight.
Yeah, literally. It was gorgeous. Never, ever do we get that in London.
I know. When I woke up, I was like, oh, 315, and right now we're at the same price, and we literally ran it down to the bottom and to the top.
It was lush.
All right. All right, so I got the YouTube cooking. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. Let everybody load up. Come on in. Got a nice show for you this morning.
Oh yeah, she's getting wrecked. Did that fill out that single print, Max?
Hang on, I'm over browse.
I need to pull that up.
I'm out of the chart. Yeah, pretty much completely closed it. There's $50 left in it. So
where was it at? I didn't even see that.
I posted it in the.
I saw you posted it. I just didn't even look at it because I just figured it was right where we were.
Nah, yeah. So there was a big single print, but we pretty much just closed it within $50. So.
Nice. Yeah, I had 30,136 at the high there. For mine, I don't know what yours is. I think our setting. That's right. We talked about this. It's because of the time and the tick setting.
Yeah. So maybe my high is my high was 30,162. What did you say yours was?
136.
Oh, well,
NASDAQ crypto.
You have to be that old. Well, yours got completely closed then, pretty much.
Almost, yeah, about 50, like $40-50 there. I didn't double check it with ATAS, but it doesn't matter. The template's easy enough to use, and the colors are really nice. You know, it's
you like
not
that
like
green, yeah.
I like my colors, man.
Your colors.
Black,
your colors are so boring.
That's why I use my template and not yours. One, I can see what's going on.
I'm gonna jump off a balcony when you post a chart with that.
Yeah, it's pretty bleak, but you know what? We're not here for fancy, right?
Very true. We're here for the grid lines.
Oh man, did she just for the grid lines? Did she just jump off a cliff here? Did she just take the low? No. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it showed that on one of my other screens. Like one of my tabs must be frozen. I was like, "What is that?"
Scaring us, Magic. You're scaring us.
Well, she's riding the back. She's riding the back of the bus right now. All right, I need to hop in the chat, make sure I can see what's going on. We'll talk a little bit about.
Are you watching the lows from last July or June? I can't really remember. Are you watching the lows? You've not really even got them on your chart.
You're talking about? Let me go to a higher time frame. I'm on like a 15-minute right now.
Yeah, I'm lost in the.
Are you talking about like 29,800, or are you talking like the low lows?
29,870. So it was back in June 21st.
Oh no, 28,726. If you remember, that was the low I was looking for right here because that was the D leg of our shark. I was looking at 28,829. So that is still a level you could have on your chart, which is right below the 1-to-1 here. You're really cutting hairs at that point. You know, if we go below the 1-to-1 by like, what is this, like $50? And it's the same.
Then you're just proven wrong, mate. If we go below what you said.
Yeah, that's 100%. You know, off
$50 below, mate. I don't think we can count it anymore. We got to get rid of that clout.
Yeah, might as well just stop trading. Yeah, in reality, I mean, this really needs to recover the I wouldn't say our current day open, obviously the previous day open at like 30,060 for me. That would look nice.
That daily.
Yeah, that would look pretty nice.
You want to start sharing your screen here? Are we gonna?
Yeah. You guys probably want to see what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I was over here just hovering over Luna chart right here because
You guys will have to
100%, but.
You guys will have to excuse my my tabs that are open. I am shopping for new blinds right now for the office. So, looking for those new energy efficient blinds, guys. So this was actually a really easy trade. So if you were patient and you took this trade and you're in the group, congrats. You guys will, especially if it plays out further, you guys are going to see me make some pretty fun posts. So, what you've done here is, well, you got a backtest failure of the zone we've been talking about. So you guys know that even though this wasn't support on the way down, that was actually the title of our update yesterday when I posted that we were going to be talking about the market. We were specifically talking about this backtest, right? So just because it wasn't support on the way down doesn't mean it won't be resistance. And then look at this, you're just getting all this resistance here. And we had talked about this prior week low at 32,903 right there. Okay, we said, realistically, you get above this and you look pretty good to go up and fill out some like NPOCs up here a little bit higher at that point, looking for like the London session, weekly open, things like that. But you really can't do anything but trade the range until then. For us, developing local session was the one. This is the easiest range to trade here, and it offered up some good ones. You can see you had the low to the high, and now you've just come back to the low. So what are we trying to do here? Get back inside the range and take it back. Now, the context for this was that we front ran a very important target. So you guys will notice I don't have a lot of stuff on this chart because there just wasn't really necessary. There's a lot of people looking for much lower prices right off the bat, and we could get those. We have those plans. But the plan for me was, everyone's saying this is bounce area, this is bounce territory, and it absolutely is. They're 100% right. The problem is they can identify this and they can still mistrade it, and that's my favorite thing in the world is that you did the analysis, but there's difference between analysis and trading. So we know here that on like a weekly time frame, we've not closed below this box like at all. A daily time frame, we've definitely deviated a couple times, and those have created some of the best opportunities, right? So it would be best to be patient, especially knowing you have such a major target right here at 28,962 just below you. That would be the reason why, as you're waiting for this, everyone is saying it's going lower. There's other people saying it's going to bounce. Why wouldn't you want to, for lack of a better term, mess with both sides of the coin here? If I were trying to even put in a bottom or, not, I would really get people excited about a bounce here, send it back all the way to the lows, get everybody bearish yet again. So the bears are thinking they've won. Bulls are thinking they're screwed. And then now we're waiting to see if we can SFP this level, get a nice trade. And that is how you're going to get any kind of a bounce going where it like comes up and tags any of these higher levels for like a back test, right? Because realistically, until you're back above 36,270, if you guys remember, that's the level I've been giving you guys publicly for quite some time right here. Until you're back above that level, there's really nothing to be all that excited about. And even getting above this level doesn't actually change anything on the overall structure, but it is a start. Reclaiming this on like a daily time frame would be quite nice. I would love to go up there just because I think it's an incredible area to short, but who knows if we get that high. So if you're watching and you're not in the group, this is something that was in advance. So you guys will see a little clout video later today. I've got quite a few to make actually. But this was from yesterday at 123. Price is basically hovering here. It's a really important level to be held. The 1-to-1 is beneath us. There's a daily here. If price revisits this area, the best trade is going to be a swing failure pattern of that daily into the 1-to-1 or strength off of the daily, essentially in terms of longs, meaning that I want to see the low of the range again. We have to generate some more shorts down there if we're going to get anybody trapped on one side. So what does the market do? Well, it trades both sides of it. You trap people at the high of your local range, send it straight down on CPI data, which everybody said was going to be bullish because it wasn't bad, right? But this is, again, why you don't trade the news. The news will get you absolutely wrecked. You should just trade the order flow and what you think is going to happen. So you take the prior session highs, boom, straight down into the 1-to-1, almost to the dollar here. I think we're like $8 off. Yeah, now you're getting that SFP we talked about here. You go to the daily again, you start looking at this. You mark out your previous day low, mark out your, opens from the day before, and you've got some really nice clean levels to work off of here, potentially to get in at least on a range play at the very least. If you're just day trading this, you take the bounce, you don't want to ever knife catch, but let's say you get in here on like some imbalances, and I'll let Max take over here in a second. He can walk us through what he wants to see in the order flow. But even if you're just trading it up to here, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that swing failure pattern to where we are now. It's like 5%. Like that's a banging day trade. That's really all I got to say, man. Like this was a really easy trade. This is really something that's going to separate traders from influencers on this app. Not just YouTube, but TikTok and Twitter. is just plans like this, having them in place and being patient, not getting sucked into all this junk here. And I think I was talking to Max last night. I put it in the DMs. I was telling him, I think it was like 2 a.m. for me. I was like, everyone's trading this. They're all going to trade this, the wedge. And he made some good money on it. I'll let him walk through those trades because he took them. I didn't. I was sleeping. But you can see that it came up here, no breakout, boom, fake out to the bottom. And now what are we going to do? We're going to run it back after trapping all these people at the lows here. So super easy trading, guys. I'm going to let Max take over if you want to go through the order flow, if you're ready anyway. I'll let you kind of give your 2 cents there.
Let's do it. Yeah, so I don't need to share my screen. Oh, it's already been shared. No, it's not. There we go. Screen 3. Everybody's here. We got a trading view.
For everybody on TikTok, this is on YouTube, and you can see the full screen there. If you'd like to see that, rewind it, all that good stuff. So,
yeah, so this is what Magic sent me in the DMs last night, and this was around here that he sent me it, and it was great long when you came down here. Let me get the order flow up for this area. It was pretty sweet, to be fair. Go back to it and just find it. Alert King. And there we go. Well, look at that swing failure pattern on. So if you look here in this, we'll just go over that quickly. So if you look here, you've got a huge amount of shorts pushing the market down. As soon as the news came out, it was somewhat bullish. And a huge amount of shorts came in this candle. How do we know? Well, the open interest was, very positive with a huge amount of negative delta in this candle. So this candle here, once we truly get above that candle, that's when you can really start talking about a full-on bounce being underway, because there's a lot of shorts there that, we can start to squeeze. Down here at the bottom, we could already say that maybe some larger positions, some people with, very large shorts are exiting here. Why do we know that? Because we're rising on decreasing open interest. The more that we climb now, the juicier, this trade is going to be, this swing failure pattern that I hope some people in the group have gotten. It's going to look very lush. It's why was such a high take. If we go to a lower time frame, let's have a look what's going on. But yeah, it's looking good, actually. And I'm not in a trade, I'm actually in a hedge. God damn it. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. As you can see, you've got buys coming in here, which is what you want to see as you push higher. And it's really in these, once you claim the daily open, there's going to be so many. If you look here, you can see there's 3.1 million shorts here just at the daily open, 2.5 there, 5.4 there that are already underwater. I like to say that once these traders are underwater, they're going to start to sweat. And they'll be sweating right now. So what happens when traders sweat? Well, think about when you're starting off in your trading journey, when you're in a position and you're immediately put underwater. Yeah, maybe they've taken profits down here. Chances are, though, they haven't. Why? Because they've taken a trade, in a risky area, thinking that, the market's going to completely free fall. They're not getting out of a trade anytime soon. So we can now determine, they're underwater. What happens when traders are underwater? Well, they panic. They start to, if you're in a short, closing that short, which would be a market buy, which again would push the market higher, which is exactly what you'd want to see when you're trading, for a long, traders underwater. It's what you want to see. Now, there hasn't been a mad amount of, very clear shorts enter down here, but what we can determine from the volume and the trades that have taken place down here, there's been a lot of trades take place. So, and the open interest is somewhat stagnant. Yes, it's negative 1.5 million and 1.3 million here, and quite a few somewhat stagnant candles on the open interest. What we can determine from that is the trades are equal on longs and shorts. It says at the bottom here it's just turned out a little bit more positive. So there's more longs that have entered down here than shorts. But, there's going to be a lot of shorts that entered here as well, because on the other side of every contract in open interest, there is, two positions, a long and a short. For it to be stagnant, that's a lot of positions changing hands, possibly from, people getting stopped out as you took some of these lows, people that have put their stop loss below, the previous day low, for example, and the last low that we had back in July, which was, I just checked this, I actually deleted it a second ago. Yeah, so this last low at 29258, we actually just swung failed that low as well. So in doing that, you've triggered a lot of positions to be forced out at market, whether they be longs. They will be longs if they're forced from in that area. So what we could determine from this is, someone has absorbed all of them longs that have been closed at market, forced out of their position. Who would that be? Who would be taking a shit ton of longs at these levels? Well, it would be the market maker. And now he's making his move and pushing us up on huge increases in volume. And now we've got a lot of more buyers coming in as you've just taken the daily open. And what I would expect now as we clear this candle here with these three candles that have had a huge amount of short center is you're eventually going to see, as more buyers come in, it will then suddenly the open interest will flip negative as you squeeze these out. Where can we expect these to be squeezed? Well, think about this. If you're a trader and you're entering short here, okay? Where are you going to put your stop loss? Well, market structure should say just about where we are now. Just above this high here, or these highs here. They're the places that you're going to be putting your stop losses, and that's where the market maker is going to be pushing the price towards for these shorts, because he wants their money. He's going to try and get them wrecked, and that's the way the market works. The market maker is constantly pushing price into areas of liquidity where he can stop out other traders. And that's exactly what's occurred here. So people that may have entered short down here, they've got squeezed out in this little rise. As you've claimed the VWAP and the daily open, you've had a lot of buys coming in. And I do expect us to go a little bit higher now because the move has been made. So maybe we get a bit of a stall here, but I do expect these highs to be taken and more upside now, to be honest. But yeah, while that little bit of excitement has taken place, I actually want to go back to this little trade I had going on thanks to Magic this morning. So yeah, he drew this wedge. I literally never trade wedges, but it was absolutely lush. Came down here, back tested perfectly on this little candle here, wick below it, came back up, and then it lined up so good, so nicely with that bi-weekly level that it was just the perfect hedge, which probably need to close out of at this point. But yeah, you want to say anything, CVO?
What was that?
I'm done. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
My excitement and I'm worn out.
Yeah, no, you're definitely the alert king for sure. All right, we'll switch it over to altcoins then. Magic, do you want to do your XRP one or?
He's muted.
He's muted. All right, we'll skip it over for now.
I mean, I'm here if you want me to go over it. I can real quick.
Just because, we've been covering that one for the last few days. So
yeah, I was looking at blinds. Sorry.
such a dad.
I said in the chat that you need to just use garbage bags for shade.
You know what?
I didn't know what that meant. I thought he meant like on like sunglasses. That makes more sense. Yeah.
No, for his blinds. Brilliant.
Would you look at that? Everybody right there, man. Like, I love it because if you were not ready for this move and didn't have a plan, like there's no way you got to hop in on that. You just missed the whole thing. You missed the best move of the whole day because I guarantee they didn't catch the session highs getting taken either. This is amazing. I love it. Anyway,
Magic posted some clout about that in a bit.
Yeah, no, I've got a video to make today. I've got so many videos to make. I'll be honest with you. Like I've been saving the clips to do it, but I know people don't want to see that right now. Everybody's probably wrecked. So, we'll talk about some trades here, guys. Look at Link filling out the OB. Remember that? We said if we're going to dip below 930, this is where we're going. Boom, to the nuts. Really, really nice, right?
Nuts.
You love to see it. XRP, I think we were working on this guy. it came down and filled out at the NPOC really nicely here. Now, we did come into some really important levels. I do need to find that chart. I think it's on my Bitstamp chart right here. We only had a couple levels on this one. So this is going to be the XRP chart, right? And you can see we're coming into fib time this week. So, well, next week, the beginning of May 16th, but 39 cents. So this was your level. What are we looking for? We're looking to come in, challenge these lows. You can see this is a base of support. It's really your last line of defense before, well, you're probably dumping to all shit, you know? So if you're in any kind of a, short from this breakdown, this is a really big take profit area. The first one was going to be 47.17 cents, which you got a really nice reaction off of. But again, nothing spectacular. You get the sell off this morning, boom, right into the next level. So this is a big area of interest. It is in the group. If you guys search my post, you can find, I said, if you just dumb it down to the basic levels, these are the levels to have on your chart. Really nice reaction off there if you were to trade it. I mean, that's phenomenal for XRP. 8 cents off of a 39-cent XRP is pretty good. So for XRP, really need to be living back in this zone. I'll be honest, until 57.7 cents is regained on XRP for me, I'm really, these bounces are just bounces. This is what it is. Same with like Bitcoin. Until you're back above like 36K, like bounces are just bounces. And again, 32,903 or 32,000 even. Those are the levels you want to see get flipped. I would be a little more bullish on 32,903 for at least a move up anyway to like 34-ish, give or take. And that would, transpire with a lot to the altcoins. And yes, there we go, Algo. There it is. So Algo's coming into buy zone, guys. For those that are patient, this is where you want to be buying Algorand. All right. So if you're watching, I've been giving you guys these levels for months. This is your Algorand buy zone. All right. So you've just come down here. Honestly, you may not spend a lot of time down here, but if you come down here, you could live here for a while, but not at the end of the world. It gives you time to accumulate a position. So it's always fun when things start to hit targets.
I don't think I've ever seen this much motion out of you, bro.
I had an energy drink this morning. I don't normally drink those. I'll be honest with you. This is the only alert I had on the chart set if we were to lose 9 cents. Right here, there it is. My Gala alert went off this morning. Looking for 69.69. What a number! So you've got 6.969 cents being taken, possibly as a swing failure pattern, taking the local lows of this consolidation, because you got to imagine that anyone that's still in this thing is like, oh, I'm going to put my stop loss here because if we lose this consolidation, there's nothing below us. Well, if I was a market maker, what would I want to do? I would want to take those stops at a minimum. Does that mean that we're done just because we took the stops? No, but you could push from here and get a nice rally out of this area if Bitcoin's leading the way anyway. So that'll be yet to be seen. But yeah, that anyone that had their stop loss here is now just completely wrecked. And they're going to be upset if it does rally. So I'm not knife catching Gala or a lot of the altcoins. I'm only getting into the ones that I'm like truly interested in. But CRO, another one, I imagine we're coming down to that 18-cent level at some point here. Yeah, there we go. You guys are going to get to see me get it on my meme line, right? So I gave you guys 18.84 cents. There's your meme line, your trend line. And that's when I expect to hit it. So we'll see if I get what I want. I would imagine this one, if we lose this box, by the way, you lose where we're at. Obviously, you can take these lows right here. You could look all the way back down into this like 8 to 10 cent region on this one. And technically, it's still a higher low, believe it or not. I know. So I would be careful with Crow if you're just blindly buying this thing. When you get a move like this, like the drawdown on that's pretty heavy. So that was kind of the context for why I was like, if this doesn't regain 50 cents, this is really realistically coming all the way back down to this box, And it is on Bybit, I found out. I did not know they added it. Someone told me on Twitter. I was looking at it on the KuCoin chart, obviously. So for anyone that trades on Bybit, you can now trade CRO. So you can short these speculative altcoins to shit if you'd like. Just do so with a little bit of risk management because you don't want to short down here, really. That's not a good place to be filling a short. I don't really know if there's anything else. Did we? Nice. Yeah, so we'll see what we get. Let's see if I got what I wanted at a bit. So this was one of the first charts I put in your group back in December. Well, now my trading view is going to freeze on me. There it is. Remember when I told you guys $67.83 on Litecoin? That's the level. You just got to wait for the roadblock here at 89. There you go. $67.70. So Litecoin has fulfilled that. This is a huge level to hold. If you lose this level, you might as well just set an alert here for the lows at $40 and then 29. But this is a really big area on the chart for Litecoin to hang on to. So for anyone that's still in Litecoin, there you go. That's your Litecoin analysis. The only analysis you need. Let's put it that way. There, it looks much better. But that's actually the very first video in the Academy. I don't know if you guys know this. I go over this chart and do the very first lesson on it. And this was the level given. So for anyone that is in the group, you might find that interesting. Dot's probably just getting absolutely massacred. It is, but there's our weekly. There's the bottom of our regression. Just filling orders for me. I'm willing to buy Dot all the way down here. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but the rebound on something like this, on a project of this magnitude, is going to be fantastic. So Dot is one that I'm filling bags on, along with Link. I don't think I have anything else, man. I think everything else, like there's no point in covering Luna. We know that's at 0.
It's actually had a nice bounce, like 300% off the lows of 1 cent.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's in the group have caught it.
Yeah, that's how I got. So when I originally got into Link, that's how I got in. Is I thought I had missed the boat on Link back in 2020, and I was working with Newt at the time, if you recall, and he was just such a Link boomer. And I remember the day before the 2020 drop in that Discord, I put, you guys should just be blindly short everything. I didn't think it was going to 3K overnight by any means, but my take profit on that trade from 9,200 was $5,500. And I woke up and I was like, there's no way that all got hit. But I had dummy orders on the Link, and that's how I got into Link, was just setting just ridiculously low orders and just laddering them in. I just had a bunch of limit orders. That's how I got my Link position. So that's why when I tell people I'm not concerned about Link, just because, I got in on Link at like, sub $2. It's like, why care? So yeah, everything's coming down into areas. Let's look at Mina. That was one I covered for Kimberly and Isaac. There you go. There's our target right here at the bi-weekly. This is the area that we're interested in right here. If you're looking at Mina, really looking to see if we can take these lows, that would be ideal. But if we don't, this is the area you want to be accumulating this coin for the long term, potentially. I'll always use some better judgment, because the market can always continue to trend lower. QNT is probably wrecked right now. Yeah, there it is. This one actually gave a really nice bounce off of that $69 level into back testing the bi-weekly. So you got a really nasty rejection right here. So this was support, into support, back tested as resistance. Now you're selling off. We're looking for $40 overall potentially, if this doesn't reclaim and make a move up, obviously. If you reclaim this and you make a move up above $82, you got to throw that out the window and target 97, et cetera. So, if you're DCAing into QNT, and you've been patient, I should say, well, make sure that you do what's best for you, I guess, in that scenario. I don't think I have anything else. VeChain should be filling this box out now. This is the box that was given on VeChain. Finally, we tapped it here, coming back into it, filling it out. Bottom side of the box is a little over 2 cents. So if you're actually looking to get into that coin, that's the area that I'm interested in. I don't know that I have anything else. Oh, ApeCoin is about the only other one I wanted to talk about, I think. I think that's on my YouTube chart, to be upfront with you. Did we take the lows on Ape like we wanted? Whoa, this is why we said we don't trade blindly buy. Remember when we said we're not going to blindly buy this thing because we don't know if this is even support, because there's not enough data here. There you go. Look at this. You took the lows, right? We said, what do we want to see? A reclaim of the low here at 962. What did you get? You got a backtest rejection. Look at that. Clean rejection. Zero reason to buy this thing at this point, and just watch it sell off. I said you could dollar cost average in every dollar all the way down to 0 probably on this one. I wouldn't touch it. And there you have it. That's why. So I guess now you could probably start doing that. But you still, again, even if you started buying here and it went all the way down to like $3 or $2, like you're going to be underwater forever, man. Like, just blindly buying altcoins is like one of the dumbest things I think someone can do. There's very few of them that I'll do it on. That's why I say I only trade a handful of them. I trade some of the larger caps. I know people don't like that, but I try to trade household names that have decent charts and real utility and are already coming into big areas of value. Accumulation ranges from the prior sessions, prior runs like Algorand, Chainlink, Polkadot. I mean, these things are coming way down back to where their accumulation ranges were before and where it was a good place to buy. This one, you have no idea where that is. So is what it is there.
Actually back tested 2 weekly levels and gone down further.
I haven't looked at Solana in a long time, but me and Paul have both covered this thing, and I'll let him do more in depth on it. But we covered this one months ago, and I haven't touched Solana because I said, you could trade it, but realistically, I wouldn't want to buy it because, when you look at something that's ran this hard, man, I haven't looked at this chart in a long time.
Sorry, I said 2 weekly levels. They weren't. They were just two significant, one significant low, one significant.
Because I had marked off basically $75, and I said, if you lose $75, you're pretty much screwed on this thing because there's nothing down below here. You've got such low volume that it would make sense to come down here and stay here for a long time. And once you got in, well, you mentioned that you were going to wait to get in on it because you thought Solana could go much lower, and you're getting it. So I think Paul had talked about $40 quite a bit. I think I'm looking for like 37.
Well, there's a monthly level at 32. I think it's on tap.
Yeah. I mean, this can go lower. You get your
that'd
POC.
Be so lush. Imagine getting free sneakers for like less than $1,000.
You've got a quarterly in POC down here, man. Like, you might as well look for that monthly. I don't see any reason why not. I know we shouldn't fall in love with targets, but
I'm in love with it now.
Everybody shits on Solana pretty hard right now because they've been going down. But I think Paul covered it best, and I'll let him do it. I won't get it, but he said that this is because he got in this thing super early at like $1 or something, and they were looking at the last major exchange of hands being there. I think is how he worded it, which he's correct. This is the last major consolidation zone. You got like some form of a wedge here, and everybody's probably trading this like a descending triangle. It breaks to the upside. Probably a lot of short interest rate here. Yeah, this is back in July. Everyone was short down here like fools. And just massive run up, nothing but distribution here at the highs, and then down you go. Just been ugly ever since. So I'm going to turn it over to Paul and let him crush some alts real quick. Make sure I'm not missing any questions. Magic laughs like Tom Cruise. I do laugh like Tom Cruise. I'm a little bit of a psychopath. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, I could picture you like murdering.
I used to actually I don't show my face a lot, but I look a lot like Tom Cruise, to be honest with you. It's
same
very
height.
uncanny.
Same height.
Same height and everything. It's pretty bad. At first I thought it was really cool when I was younger, because people were like, oh, it's really cool. And then like as I got older and I figured out he's a psychopath, I was like, I don't know that I want this. But it is what it is, man.
That's a good one, man. It's a good comparison. All right, cool. Well, man, what a rundown in 33 minutes, which has covered like literally the biggest amount of info I think you could ever digest on Bitcoin and several altcoins. So for anybody that's just joining or over here on TikTok missed the beginning, we had a really good Bitcoin rundown. Went through order flow, open interest, and then the slew of altcoins there that Magic is substantial at mapping out these macro lows from a far ways back. So all these areas that we're coming into for a lot of these altcoins are areas that, like you said, we've been presenting for several months at this point. And, obviously we've been trading and moving along the way, but, as things become more relevant and Bitcoin started coming down to these different levels, we obviously had to anticipate some of these. So, all right, in the short term here, taking a look at ETH, right? So we've kind of been hovering around the range low here. I've got a couple of the next levels of interest here below. Obviously, if Bitcoin does continue lower, which is questionable at the moment, we're still kind of, still paying attention for that 1-to-1 target that we've already come into. Many people are probably targeting lower, and especially if the scenario plays out where Magic had just kind of explained, where we just got the bounce off the 1-to-1 target. We're running it back up right now to pretty much yesterday's levels, where everybody's probably going to be flooding in with longs at this point. And then we'll see how things react if we get a pushback down towards that 28,990 area. But regardless, ETH, right? you want to see this range reclaimed here. And what I'm pulling this off of is this is actually the Q1 range here. So for this year, so we're technically building out the second one right now. It's just dynamic. I haven't really been going off of it quite yet, just because it's only about 5 weeks in. And let's see here. Somebody's mic is on. Max, will you mute yourself, man?
Sure. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And so you got the Darth Maul candle here with today's drawdown weekly level. Did not kind of front ran this other weekly level here. As far as anything to the downside would go, obviously I'll be updating this in the group as we need it. We do have our summer lows over here. This is obviously under the implication that Bitcoin would head lower. Don't know that quite yet, right? So could very well get a turnaround here. The recipe is building for sure around these areas. But as far as the upside, still looking to really reclaim. We're holding around this level really, really well. So very interesting to see that. So just a punch back into here. Obviously, we had it yesterday for a little bit. Granted, these are wicks. This is the daily time frame, by the way. So we closed that on a wick, still below the range. So we are technically outside of this range to the downside. So at the moment, you really would be anticipating lower until we reclaim this area. Got a big yearly S1 key level down here that I just got that mapped off. But, obviously we got some other major supports coming in here if we headed lower. I would really imagine that this weekly down here is going to be a big one, right at about $2,000. And then, like I said, we'll update as we go. Obviously, for the upside, still looking back towards this point of control, $2,600. And then we'd want to break through this range for continuation, which is upwards of about $3,100. So that's for ETH. Solana, since we already kind of covered that, we'll go over that one a little bit. And then we're going to take a look at Luna. Luna's an interesting. I don't think I've ever seen something like Luna ever since BitConnect, as far as the price action and how quickly. Maybe it ends up being a BitConnect, but BitConnect also offered up some awesome trades along the way for a few days until it really actually bottomed out. That is definitely something, you might want to stay away from, I guess, in that case. But Solana, right, dropped out of the range. And yeah, like Magic said, we had this small area over here, that $75 area. I didn't even really mark it because it just was so small of an area to me. But this $40 level right now, we're holding it daily, which was pretty much, like the high over here back in May of last year, pretty much. There is a yearly S1 right below us as well. That's about $44. That's pretty much always been the major area that we've been looking at is between this quarterly key, which is the $37 level that Magic had brought up, and then this yearly S1. We're really close to it. We're actually breaching, or look like we breached just about down to it. Once again, for Solana, obviously, whatever your strategy is, however you like this project, hate it, whatever, these would be the areas, like Magic was saying, this is definitely accumulation time. If you're going to be looking into anything, you are literally having a full reset to 1 year ago for price action. So everything is down 80-90% across the board. These opportunities don't come quite, bear market idea. Everybody thinks we're in a bear market and whatever could be the case. Who knows? This is the quickest we've gotten down to these lows, though. I will say that without any kind of bounce back. So, take that for what it's worth. I think that the only thing about that is that everybody from back in the day in the old bear market time frame, we all knew how that went, and there was huge bounces, and then you get lowers, and we've had like 1 or 2, I guess, weeks so far of an upside move, and then all downside. And I just feel like it's conditioning everybody to just kind of like selling at the lows is always going to be the move that everybody gets pushed into. So take that for what it's worth. Obviously, the de-risking time, like I said, came and went. So now is time to probably be putting on some risk depending on your strategy there. Luna is, let's see, I put up in the group earlier today as we were coming into that point of control from last year, and it was 80 cents. I don't know how much lower it went. That's not Luna. Got a pretty substantial little bounce. This is the daily time frame. So once again, obviously we've covered Luna at exhaustion as well, right? Throughout this entire range here, breakout to new all-time highs, hit the 1618, broke back in. This was your short area here, even just to the range low. Obviously, it would have been an epic short to hold it even lower. But this was the back test and reclaim of the range high of your Q1 range. Yearly open as well, did not hold that. So we were going back towards the point of control and range low, at least back here at $47. Obviously, we melted right through there on whatever news and everything that's going on with that. And pulling this up yesterday, we were at the 12, the yearly S1, and we had the 3 month below it. And man, even a short, which obviously, higher risk, but if you just YOLO'd and whatever, this short yesterday would have been another 100% to the downside, which is pretty epic. But we were looking for this Q1 point of control, which is pretty much give or take the last stop. There is another one down, I guess, a little bit below that, like 70 cents or the range low or something of that nature. But this comes in at like 86 cents. So far, we've come down and we've met that. Got a little bounce. Like I said, it's already back up to like $3.50. So a 500% move to the upside from that. What a wild ride this has been for anybody that's been catching this just the right way, I guess. Anybody that held that short, I don't know if that you would, but whatever. Buy it, sell it, hate it, love it, is what it is, right? Came down, tag this, whatever the news is, whether it goes to zero or not, for you to decide. But definitely came down into a major area that we had identified earlier today in the group. And so there's that. And Mana, right? Look at that October NPOC, right? This is that buy zone if met. Big buy box. So really want to hammer home what we're looking at here for a lot of altcoins. And yeah, you can go a little, and just kind of how Magic had said earlier, for like things like DOT and Link and, projects that you really, really do, see value in and do want to hold for a few years at a time or whatever the case may be, or just, you can risk if the market doesn't, push higher right now, that you'll sit on this for a few years. These are the times in the areas where you really want to be paying attention, because, this buy zone if met basically is the last accumulation period here that we saw from last year as well. This is on the Coinbase chart, so this is also not all the price action here. This is just when it joined. Regardless, October, naked point of control, major volume target. This was pretty much one of the areas we were looking for. Come down and met that perfectly, sitting right now in the box here. Obviously, everything's going to be hinging on, Bitcoin's price action right now. But it's anybody that's holding from the exact top and did not adapt and did not adjust and did not do anything, obviously, you're in a position where you probably feel like you should sell and do whatever. Once again, everything is up to you. But these are definitely, this is definitely a buyer's market, in my opinion, for the holders, right? So anybody that's looking to accumulate, DCA is such a vague strategy, but this would be one of those times, right? So totally up to you. I like Mana. I'm picking up some Mana at these areas, so that's just me personally. So you can do whatever is best for you. Matic, yearly S1, just like I said, just coming down and meeting all of our lower levels here that we've been looking at for quite some time. You got a quarterly key level way down here. Now this would be a major move to the downside. I don't necessarily think we're going to get this one, right? This would be another like 50% drop. So unless this pulls a Luna, which I think that Matic actually had a Luna type experience a few years back when it was still whatever the other name of it was. I guess it was Polygon at the time. I guess it goes by Polygon Matic now, but regardless, I'm pretty sure Matic was the one that had an exact type of scenario where it pretty much sold off like 90% really quickly. It wasn't as quick as Luna's, but and then obviously you saw how the recovery went, but that is speculation on the Luna side, right? You don't know how that's going to play out quite yet. But so far today, a 500% bounce. That was a decent play off that point of control. All right. You got near actually pushed out of the range. Oh, man, filled out all these too. All right, interesting. So near, we were looking at one of the few that actually held the range low while we were pushing down to 29K the other day. So a couple days before. And this is what's so, can be so hard with the altcoins, especially during Bitcoin corrections, is that, Bitcoin pulled back to 29.99 the other day. And then, altcoins held okay. I mean, obviously they took a hit, but they were holding, relatively okay. And then the next day, which was pretty much today, I guess, now you get that huge sell off in the altcoins. I'm sure it was initiated to some degree by Luna and all the fear with that and whatever. But regardless, just paying attention to these levels that you're looking for. So it came down, obviously tagged the 3-month levels that here we were looking at. This was literally just posted up earlier today too. So met all those. Really looking for the reclaim of this range for upside for now. Otherwise, this is the daily time frame, and we have closed the daily outside of the range. Today is not looking good, right? So just kind of keep your eye on that. But for the upside continuation, you would want to reclaim this 952. Otherwise, that's on a trading idea, especially, right? Not necessarily a trading idea. Obviously, for anybody looking to, see this asset climb higher, that is what, a key level to climb above. But also to note, near another one personally that I like for the future for a holder. Whatever you do, I'm picking up some near at some of these levels here. I think that it has a pretty bright future ahead of it too. But as always, you do you. So OGN was one that pretty much ran it up and, fell all the way back into this, the range that we were sitting in just 4 months ago. So same deal, kind of having a daily, this is 2 days. So we haven't closed the daily outside of this range quite yet. Seeing this is the Binance chart. So, we're pretty much near, the lows of this project, at least on this chart here. So, we'd really want to see that range hold up and continue from there. But OGN did, 100% ran it up to the point of control. This is why those point of controls are natural targets, right? That's where you want to take profit at least. And taking profit even without just leverage trading, this and that, can be very, lucrative on spot holds too. If you got into OGN around this region, we ran it up, get to this level, take 20%, put it in cash, because there's always going to be these days, right? Always. So that's one thing there. But we have come back down and holding this range low now. Let's see, Sand, yearly S1, pushing through it a little bit. I probably could update this one a little bit more like Mana, but we're coming into pretty much the previous. This was a huge. This is from August of 2020. This accumulation range over here. So we're pretty much back there, right? So you already came down, pretty much tested it. If I had to throw a daily level, it'd probably be right here, right? That's exactly where we came down to already. So, holding this region right here would probably be something that Sand probably fills out for the next few days. This is actually this is a big move. Actually, this is like 50%, 30%. I'm sorry. So within this area, below this yearly S1, so below $1.60, maybe a good area to pick up Sand for the long haul here. But Sand, just like Mana, just like Solana, just like Matic, also all these coins that had these humongous runs, note that they've already come back down and basically gave it all back, right? So, for anybody that's coming into the market or anybody's looking to, get more, just kind of how like Magic was saying, right? You got in a link and whatever at $2, it's coming back to that region. So, these are definitely opportunities at hand. So. Crow and ADA. I didn't do ADA yet. So Crow we covered earlier. Magic had covered it a little bit. I'll pull it up real quick too. Okay, so Crow, and I know this might look a little busy here, but this range right here was what we were looking for, right? We re-entered this range a couple days back ago, and this point of control was the major area that I was looking for. If you scroll over also, this point of control is pretty much a daily level right here as well. Also, it was your yearly S1 key level. So for me, that was pretty much the area I've been looking for Crow personally. Could you go lower? Sure. I mean, technically we could rotate this range in full because the range low is all the way down here at 13 cents. But from around this region to here would be that, major area, that buy zone if met, so to speak. We've come really close, right? So we got down to 20 cents earlier today. This yearly S1 and all that, that's only a penny away. Right now we're at 21 cents. Obviously that's in a percentage gain. That's a pretty decent move. That's 8 to 10%. But this would be the region, right? Even all the way down to that 13 cents. For me, right? So whatever you want to do, but this is an area I'd be looking for. and obviously losing those would, equate to some lower levels here, but that would also probably mean that the entire market's melting down for the most part. So we'd have other problems anyways. But these are the areas that we've been looking for. This one specifically hasn't been met yet. A little front ran so far. So I'm still paying attention for that one. Bitcoin's really not doing anything substantial at the moment, even though, got a pretty decent bounce off that 29. But we'll see how that one plays out. So if Bitcoin draws it down back to those lows again, probably get that final rundown for the alts down to these lower levels that we're looking for. But if you don't get it, then whatever. I mean, is what it is. I mean, you're really close. So this is what a bear market looks like.
I think as long as you don't lose the VWAP, we'll be all right. The VWAP, there's a lot of longs that have come in above that. So you lose that, and then you're putting them longs under pressure. So
where's it at? Oh, we're right there, right?
Can you see in that candle just as you break above the VWAP? Yeah, that big one. As you break above the VWAP, you get a load of longs coming. You can see it in the imbalances. And you go below that, you're going to be putting all of them under pressure and all of the longs that have just come in on the bounce that we've just had. You don't really want to be putting them.
Right.
As you're probably going to see them lows again.
I like it. So with that idea there, right, if we come back to those lows once again, we'll probably get that final drawdown, right? So all the altcoins are just getting a bounce right now. I mean, that's only 11%. So once again, that's not the end all be all target either. Like I said, that's just the point that it's got a lot of confluence there, a lot of support built up. Do lose that though, and the range low is pretty much on deck. So, but over, long term, I personally, who knows what any of these coins are going to amount to, but that's something I'd be willing to pick up personally. And Cardano, man, is just sitting nowhere, right? So this is the price action, this little red dotted line that's going across. There's really nothing here. The only thing I would say is that if you scroll it all the way across, then you got some, built up from all the way back in 2018 timeframe. So where we are now, it's kind of in limbo, so to speak. I'm sure I could map out something to find some support here, but regardless, we were really looking to hold on to this 72-cent level, and then otherwise, it was anticipating this lower 37, 38 area. We came down to 53. Like I said, I probably could map out a couple areas in between here, but at this point, you probably could just stair step this down, consider where we are, maybe the area once again, pay attention for Bitcoin. If we punch through those lows one more time, you're probably going to at least get that draw down another 10-15% back to where we were. But 72 cents was definitely our big area we wanted to see held, and obviously we lost the range low over here. So this was your de-risking area, right, when that back test came through. The daily time frame as well. So this didn't happen quick. These are daily candles here. So that de-risking time was around here. If you're looking to sell at this point, it's a hard knock life, because you could go another 30-40% to the downside. But we could also punch back up and hit a 30-40% run up. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in that case, but totally up to you. That's kind of where, the majority of support is going to be at this point. But reclaim this 72 cents. Obviously we're looking to get, in better shape at that point, and start climbing higher. For now though, Cardano's kind of in the middle, for me. Times it. All right, coming up on time. Perfect. CRV was one we covered yesterday. Just want to point it out again. Granted, it's been living below this point of control for quite some time, so that's not necessarily a great thing to see. A lot of times we do break to the downside at that point, so we are kind of getting that now. I just wanted to point out that this was actually one of the few projects that held up pretty well, up in compared to things even like Cardano, Chainlink, and a lot of the other coins. CRV and Near, were pretty much holding their range lows even when Bitcoin felt the original drop the other day. But now we're starting to see that resolve to the downside a little bit. So would be looking a little bit to see CRV kind of pull it down a little bit lower. Obviously, we reclaim this range, and we're looking back up again. It's a really, really big range. This is from the first quarter of this year. It took 3 months to fill out, and just similar to Chainlink. And very few of them have Zilliqa was one that had a pretty big range, but this is like 140% from low to high. So when the market starts to bounce back, this probably would be one that, CRV moves really well. Anyways, it seems, it's one of the larger or one of the most choking on some coffee. DeFi project seems to do pretty well, pretty much available anywhere. So either way, looking to reclaim that range, and then we'll go from there. But so far, it hasn't been able to get through this point of control, which has been interesting. All right, that might do it for the show today, boys and girls. Like I said, anybody that's just joining, we covered a slew of things today. Pretty much all the heavy hitters. Let's take a look at H-bar, actually. H-bar, we were looking for that 9 cents. Let's see if we got it. I have to imagine we did. Oh, and then some. Oh, God. All right, so range low, ran it all the way to rotated the whole range. All right. So this previous range we were looking at, so this is Q1 of last year. And this is what's important to pay attention for, what we were just looking at too. The one that was, what was it? Was it CRO? Is that these things are possible. You lose those points of control, and you see how important or how easy it is just to, the next target is that range low, right? You're going to rotate in full. Point of control was 9 cents we were looking for. H-bar drew it down to 5, right to the range low today. So quick bounce, obviously, but possible to come back and take these lows once again. So this is, you lose this point of control again, 9 cents, and look back down to this area again. So for anybody looking to get in the H-bar, that's pretty impressive. Okay. That's about all I got. For anybody that's looking to get, live updates, access to my altcoin charts, Magic's Bitcoin analysis, his altcoins as well, Max's order flow and open interest. We do run the leading crypto Discord server. The information is in our information pages here on YouTube and TikTok. It's today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? Yes, it is. Tonight we're going to have a members only market update. Okay, geez. So we do a members market only update where we go over all this, previous to it occurring. Go ahead, whoever's talking.
I'm just listening, bro.
Oh, okay. Yes, we got our members only market update coming tonight, 9:30 p.m. Anybody that can't watch it live, it will be here in the live recordings. We went over pretty much been going over these ideas here with the one-to-one and everything else with Bitcoin for several weeks now. Preparing everybody. Started off actually back when Magic joined the group in Christmas time. Christmas Eve was the first day when we ran it from 52K down to 33 weeks before any news of conflict and all the things that stacked up. So the TA is there. We got a really nice group community in here. Anybody's interested in joining, like I said, the information is in our descriptions. Otherwise, we'll be live again tomorrow around the same time, probably like 9:15, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll kind of go over it from there. So hope you all have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Be sure to follow Magic Internet Money as well on TikTok and on YouTube. He's the other trader and analyst that we were going over earlier. Max is the order flow and open interest specialist. We're trying to get him socialed up. He doesn't have anything going on quite yet. But yeah, you got anything to add, Magic, before we go?
No, I was just going to say happy hump day, guys.
Happy hump day. We were getting humped this morning. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
We were getting humped this morning.
Dude, you gotta love that volatility though, man. That was the trade of the day. If you took that trade, it's a 10% trade, like day trade, just running it from the 1-to-1 all the way back to the, the weekly resistance there around 32. You don't got to do anything the rest of the day. That's wonderful. That's why I'm so happy about it.
Magic. You called it out ages ago. Fair play to you. Called it out so long ago.
That's why we wasn't really doing much. I was like, you could trade the range, but like realistically, this is the best trade. And if you get it, all you got to do is take it. It is what it is. So, perfect. All right, I'm done.
Cool. All right, have a great day, everybody. CBO signing off. Till the next time.